Hi everybody, I'm Jen Viviant, QHHT Level 3 Practitioner. I help people get in touch with the part of themselves that knows everything, knows all the answers to their questions. And I do that through a combination of talking to them and hearing their life story and putting them into what we call a deep relaxation or hypnosis. So I come across a few questions pretty frequently to start right off, and it's very helpful to get an idea of what it is you're going to do when you do a QHHT session. They can last 5 to 7 hours, so why in the world would you want to do that without knowing something more? That's what this video hopes to accomplish, is to help you understand a little bit more about what this is all about from the very beginning. So questions I see all the time from my viewers and from friends, from people I talk to, clients even. What is a past life regression? How can I learn more about it? Why in the world would I trust somebody to put me into hypnosis and see something that might be scary, something from a past life? What's the point? So, okay, yeah, absolutely. I had those questions too when I first started, and I'm a big advocate of educating myself. I'm a big advocate of educating others. I used to be a teacher. I'm a really big advocate of reading. And the first thing I could do is say, you've got lots of things that you can read and videos to watch so that you can understand more. You can start right here. You can also Google QHHT, find more videos about Dolores Cannon and her life and what she did. You can also go to her official QHHT website. There's lots of material there. There are contacts to practitioners around the world, so no matter where you are, you would be able to find out more straight from a practitioner. You could even have a phone consultation for free with many of these, especially interns, and get a sense from them what it would be like to go into hypnosis. How cool is that? If you want to dive a little deeper before you get to that point, however, there are some books that are out there, wonderful books by multiple authors. I'm a big fan of Dolores Cannon's. That's the person who created the technique I do, QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. So she has many books out there. They're just incredible. In fact, it was a video I was watching a few years ago that told me about Dolores Cannon and told me about her videos. Told me about her books. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that in my little info video to you. So get out there and find out what her books are all about. They're on Ozark Mountain Publishing. And where else can you go? Well, there are other authors about hypnosis, particularly about past life regression. Michael Newton has another form. Also, Brian Weiss has another format of this kind of past life regression we're talking about, or journeys between lives. And while their takes are different, and I don't know all the details, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, I would say that both of them have really wonderful, informative material out there to read. So get out there and read those authors, and let me know in the comments if you find anyone else who has some great things. You're going to be surprised, if you've never looked into this before, how many books there are on past life regression. So I'm just really highlighting the 3 places where I've seen the sort of like the leading formats of hypnosis that many other people have gone to. There are plenty others, and particularly those who have worked with those techniques for years and have created their own, or just made leaps and bounds with the type of technique they use. So that's where you can get more information. You can also do a search in YouTube, in Google as well. You can find plenty more videos with practitioners that have published some of their sessions or portions of their sessions. We never publish the part that has to do with the interviews, which is like the conversation that we have with our clients. That is completely confidential, and that is so important that you know that. It's completely one-on-one when you go into a QHHT session. And as a matter of fact, even those videos that have been published, we ask our clients permission. So those have been published with the permission of our clients. And that's so important, because really the importance of the session is for you to get the healing that you need. That is the top priority. Dolores Cannon was real stickler to training everybody in that way, so that the practitioners who present the information that you see are showing you only information that has been given permission to share. So that said, there is so much out there. It is really wonderful to take a look at the many different ways information is brought out in a session. So why in the world would I want to trust someone? Why in the world would I want to trust someone to put me into hypnosis and take me through a past life regression? Okay, that is a fair question. And why would you? There's so many healing and transformative possibilities. Okay, so to understand what the purpose of this is a little bit like understanding what the session is in the first place. So you are about to go on a gigantic transformational journey when you step into your QHHT session. In fact, from the moment you've booked your session, your higher self is already in contact with you, communicating with you, sending you healing energy. And if you're open to it, you will receive it. I just got an email from a client of mine about a week and a half ago. I actually haven't met him yet. About a week and a half ago, he emailed me to say, Jen, you were right. I had these skin lesions and I can't remember some other, I think I said hypertension. And I went to the doctor last week and my hypertension's under control and the skin lesions have gone away all since I booked your session. So we're going to meet in a couple weeks and this is already going on. Those were a couple of his big physical healing questions that he had. So how great is that? So really what that means is that when you are deciding to have a session, you are deciding to put your health in priority seating, okay? Your health is important. You've just told your high self when you book a session that you are ready to take those steps. What those steps are, we don't know, but what steps those are, you're going to trust the higher self to take you there. And that is where the higher self decides, okay, well, you're hearing me. This is great. We can start with the healing. The higher self is your connection to everything, the divine, whatever you want to call it. It's the all, okay? That is your connection. That is the part of you that is eternal, okay? That is the part of you that we are getting access to in a session. It is so amazing to see the energy shift in the room when people connect with that part of themselves. And that part of yourself is capable of doing any form of physical, emotional, psychological, transformational healing that you ask it to do, if it will benefit you. Now, that gets into another question that I'm not going to answer right now. It gets to, why wouldn't it benefit me, right? We'll just say real quickly that if you did need to have some sort of reminder because of XYZ going on in your life, you needed a reminder, you're in this physical body and this is what you need to be focusing on, then something might stick around a little longer than you want it to. But for the most part, those things are, we can shrink those to a point where it doesn't have to be so impactful to your life. It's a matter of asking your higher self. So in a session, you become more conscientious of how you're communicating with your higher self. You become conscientious of how your higher self is giving you information, and the awareness that you have of what you are doing throughout your day that is creating your belief, that is creating the situation that you might be in. Those things start to have sort of like a light shed on them, and you start to see them in a different way because there's more for you to see. It's just easier to access. And that continues after your session. That continues and it develops. It doesn't just stay that way. So you have a great experience in your session of developing awareness, of getting some key features to what you might need to be working on or focusing on, things to let go of, things to bring in. And it also allows for the opportunity to grow and grow and grow and grow. So after your session, you continue, you get bigger, you expand, and it can really go anywhere. So isn't it strange to put the trust in one of these practitioners to put me into a safe place? Okay, that's another question I get. Isn't it safe? Isn't it strange to put myself into this position? So I would say that if you are unsure, you go to the website, the QHHT official website, and you look at the pictures of each of the practitioners that you're considering. You read their bios. Each practitioner has an opportunity to put their bio on their individual page. So not only can you look up a practitioner, you can also find out where they practice from. So what country, what state, what city. You can put those things in and modify your search so you're looking only at people that you would be able to viably get to. And don't discount the idea of going to a QHHT session when you are traveling. That is a great way to have a session. I've had some incredible sessions with people who were traveling. They took time out of their day. They took time out of their trip, I should say. And I don't know, there's something really special about that because they might be on a business trip, or they might be on vacation, or they might be visiting family. It doesn't really, I don't know, the difference in that versus their day-to-day life. They're like trying to fit it into their schedule, and they're a little bit, like, oh, how long is this going to take? Well, when you give yourself the chance to have as much time as you need to have the experience you need to have, it's so easy, okay? It's going to take about the same amount of time either way. It's just the perception of having that time, having the space to grant to yourself so that you can really go deep. I got off on a tangent there. It's super important though. Consider taking a trip to see a practitioner, or when you're on a trip already, see in advance. Is there somebody in the area? I'm going to be in London. Maybe there's somebody in London, or I'm going to be in this really small town in Canada. I wonder if somebody's going to be there. So, have fun with it. It's like anything, you can really make it anything you want to. Okay. Trusting. How the heck am I going to trust this person? So people go on their website, people go, if you need to, you can do some email exchanges. I'm always open to email exchanges. Some people still feel, after reading all the way through my website, having a couple emails, I really think I need to have a phone conversation. Totally fine. I totally get it. Yeah. We want you to feel as comfortable as possible. And that is part of the goal. Part of the goal with all of the information I put on my website, videos I post, is to help you get to know me so that it's easy for you to make that decision. And also, I'm hoping to inform you about things along the way. That's really the goal here, is to make sure that you have the information you need to make your decision. So, trusting somebody in hypnosis, really, the bottom line here is that Dolores Cannon did such a phenomenal job of training her students that all of the students have been trained the same way. They all have the same requirements. And you have level 1, 2, and 3, and you also have interns who are starting out and getting used to the whole process. So by the time you're getting to level 3, you're having practitioners who have trained to a T in the way that Dolores expected each and every person to do their sessions. So they are certified to give sessions in the very same way that Dolores intended for them to be. Now, why is that important? Well, the main thing is that she really had a great history with her clients. She had a wonderful reputation. She really spent the time to do it right with each and every client. Their safety and their comfort was her priority, and she never did anything without their consent. So it was really about making sure the client feels comfortable. All right, so that is the number one. We do things the way that Dolores asked for us to do, and we do them the right way. So the second thing about that is, if you're questioning the experience of hypnosis itself, what we need to do is kind of break that down and understand what that means. So you are in a state of deep relaxation many times a day, especially when you go to sleep, and when you wake up, you are going through these lowered brainwave states. Your body is used to the experience that you're going to have when you are under in hypnosis, because it is very much like those in-between stages between being fully awake and being fully asleep. So that in-between area has a lot of stages within it, like little mini stages. And your higher self knows exactly the type of experience you need to have. And you might have multiple experiences, even in just one session. So you sort of go with the flow. You just smoothly allow the energy to be what it is around you. I tell everybody that you might just feel like you're lying here on this bed next to me, talking to me, and that nothing has changed except that your eyes are closed and you're talking to me and you're lying in this bed. And that's sometimes how it starts. And your higher self knows exactly how you need to experience this. Sometimes people actually need to experience a heightened state of awareness, where it's as if the superconscious, almost like the gamma waves, are active and electric, and you're feeling just like everything's very fast. And yet it's a very different thing from being fully awake and engaged in a room. It's a different type of awakeness. So you can trust whatever direction it goes, if it goes to there or if it goes to a place that's sort of groggy and you're just a little bit checked in and checked out. These kinds of experiences are not predictable. And I can't tell you enough, because we don't have science backing us up on all of the various ways we would need to understand these brainwave states. What I can tell you from personal experience is I've had my own sessions done by practitioner friends. I've had experiences of all types where I've been completely groggy and really tired, and the words just like slog out as I talk when the higher self is present and talking through me. I've had other times where I'm just chattery and very speedy, and I truly just, I can't tell you what the difference is, other than your higher self knows exactly what you need when you need it, and you trust the experience, you trust the flow. And your practitioner will understand what that is, and they will help guide you to see whatever it is that your higher self wants you to see. Because you see that the practitioners have no agendas. The practitioners have no expectations of how your session is going to go, and we don't know what you're going to take away, and we don't know how you will receive the information in whether it will be in a past life, or you'll go back to a present life and maybe younger, or see something maybe in colors or something else. We really just go along for the ride, and we're trained to do that. We understand how to help you so that you see the things you need to see. We don't get in the center of it. We don't butt in. So I hope that this helps. I really want to make sure people understand that a past life regression is a part of QHHT. It's a part of the experience, whereas the whole experience of QHHT is so tremendous and transformational. And I hope that you understand what else you can do to find books, to find videos, to find more interesting information on the web to help support your journey here. I wish you happy healing. I wish you happy transformation. I wouldn't be the same person without this, so I hope that you'll consider it and find somebody who works for you.